Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing a little speed paint here of one of my OCs called Aiden. Specifically his name is I forgot his name, bro. His name is Aiden Phillips. So yeah, I'll be painting him in this process and coloring him and stuff. I've already done a little sketch of him off camera, so yeah. Anyways, for this video, I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about WEBTOON and how I created one, because my OC here, Aiden, is actually from a WEBTOON that is coming out soon. Though if you're watching in the future, it might already be on WEBTOON. Its official launch date is Brain, come on, January 1st, and if you're watching this before January 1st, it launches on January 1st, PSD time, 6 p.m. So yeah, you can go read it. I'll leave a link in the description if I remember to, but that link will only work after the 1st of January, so in 2021. Yeah, so I just wanted to talk a little bit about WEBTOON and how it's been like starting and how I started, because I just started. So I thought I could give some tips or like share my experience, because actually, fun fact, this WEBTOON that is launching in 2021, I originally made it I think has started in like October. However, back then I did not have any experience, I didn't do much research, and it was a mess. So I decided to restart. I didn't get that far into the series. I think only around 5 episodes were done before I decided to restart, and I think that was a good move. Even though people were really supportive over the first few episodes, I was not pleased with it myself. I do understand that artists will never really be pleased with their own artwork. However, I hated it, I didn't want something I hated to be out there for people to see, even if other people think it's good, I dislike it. So I restarted, and this time I got myself, I, did some research and figured out how to crop panels, how to learn like pacing and spacing and text and speech and font and styles and like composition and stuff. So yeah, first of all, I wanted to start off by saying WEBTOONs, I think that you should do your canvas about anywhere between 800 to 1.8K or 2K in width. The thing is, you can make your file smaller if needed, but if you start off too small and your style is really detailed, it gets messy. So yeah, if you know that your style is detailed and will require a lot of intricate stuff, I recommend use a larger canvas. Now, the length of the canvas can basically vary depending on how long you want your episode to be. Certain programs only support up to a few like pixels. I think Clip Studio and Medibang only support up to 20,000 pixels. However, programs like Photoshop support 300,000 pixels. I'm not exaggerating, literally, I googled it, which is pretty crazy. But even if your program cannot support like 300,000 pixels, don't worry, you can always do the maximum length. Like for example, on Clip Studio it's 20,000, and I usually set my canvas to 800 by 20,000 pixels and work from there. The first thing I guess you want to do is write out your story, have basically a summary of the story, a detailed version of the story. The detailed version, if you want to, you can write it in episode. Like you can say episode 1, I want this to happen. Episode 2, I want this to happen. And yeah, write out your whole story before starting, because you don't want to make it up as you go along. unless it's like a slice of life. But if you want to like make an actual story, you should definitely write out your story first. So let's assume that you already have your story written out, right? So to start, it's great to make a prologue for your story to, kind of, foreshadow, give a backstory, or tell the reader how your world is like, world building, anything like that. Or just like a trailer for a movie, anything like that. So that's why it's important to have your whole story planned out, because, the prologue kind of gives like, a few spoilers, kind of, but it's not really spoilers. You can decide what you want to put in your prologue, but it's often an introduction to the characters, like the main characters, the world building and stuff. So, for example, in mine, I introduced us to basically the main events. It can also be a bit like the description of your story, because on WEBTOON you have description of your story and a title. So you could obviously also make your prologue kind of based off of your description of your story as well. Another thing is, before you start your WEBTOON, before you post your WEBTOON actually, you should probably make 3 episodes. And that's 2 episodes including the prologue if you want to include a prologue. The reason being is because what was that? I don't know. But anyways, continuing. Because after 3 episodes, after 2 episodes, on the 3rd episode, as you begin reading, WEBTOON gives you this little pop-up saying, do you want to subscribe to this series? So really what you want is for your first 2 episodes to be interesting enough that your reader wants to subscribe to your series, So that's why having a prologue is kind of a good idea, because often in your first 2 episodes nothing really happens. So having a prologue kind of makes the reader way more excited to read your story. So you want to make sure that your first 2 episodes are really eye-catching and hooking. And also for the 3rd episode of like your WEBTOON, you want to make like the first thing pretty. At least I think it's a good idea. You don't have to, but I think it's a good idea. For example, on your 3rd episode, the first because when you click on the 3rd episode, the pop-up will come up and your screen will freeze. And if in the background is like a really pretty illustration or piece of a really pretty panel, the reader will want to read it, so they will press sure, why not. If it's something that looks quite boring, they might not want to read that episode and will just click not subscribe to your WEBTOON. So that's another little handy dandy little trick, I guess, to make the top part of your 3rd chapter / episode to look really pleasing to the eye, because that's the part where your reader will pause and like look at it for a while because of the do you want to subscribe pop-up notification thing. So yeah, that is another tip that I have for you. And yeah, basically now you've got your first 3 episodes, you've kind of started and you have your basic plan written out and your story written out. That's great, right? I totally forgot to mention your character, but you should have them designed, especially your main characters. You should have them designed to like do character sheets, reference sheets, model sheets for them. Or yeah, you should definitely do that. I forgot to mention it earlier, but you should not, if you have new characters that are pop up along the way that are only gonna be there for 1 episode, design them beforehand, maybe a few episodes before that when they show up, just so that you're not making it up as you draw the episode, because often you will forget details in the next episode, or there will be less continuously fluency, and it's just kind of chaotic if you do it that way. So yeah, that is another thing. So by this point, you've kind of, started off your WEBTOON. It's going great. Well, how do you get people to notice it? Because there's thousands of creators on Canvas, and you gotta start on Canvas first. Well, first of all, if you have another social platform or friends and family that you're not too embarrassed to show it to, you can tell them to check it out and, promote it on your social media. If you already have like a Twitter with a few thousand followers, that's great. So yeah, you want to promote it to people and you want to shove it in their faces until they go read it and subscribe and leave a like and give a 10-star rating. And yeah, so that's how to start off. And basically the rest of it really depends. You might get a lot of following really quickly, or it might take a few episodes to build up a following. And the thing is with the story, don't make it because you want to make it big on Webtoon. Don't make a comic just because you want to make a comic. If you're gonna make it, make sure that you actually like the story yourself, and make sure that the story is something that you like and is precious to you. And yeah, because if you are like making a comic, a Webtoon, just for the sake of making one, most likely you're gonna give up about 3 episodes in. Like, before you even ever publish it, you're probably gonna give up because you don't care about it. If it's something you care about, you'll most likely want to work on it. So yeah, that's something I wanted to say. And final few tips, just when you're making a Webtoon, it'd probably be best to read some Webtoons, and when you're starting, reread those Webtoons to see how the author has put their text bubbles, font, paneling, pace. All those things is not something you care about when you first read a Webtoon. Trust me, I've read like a lot, and the first time I read them, I never noticed the art style. I never noticed the paneling and the pacing and the stuff. But when you're actually making it, be sure to check out the paneling, because sometimes authors reuse scenes, and then sometimes the text bubble goes completely off like screen, and they like go places and stuff. So yeah, just check all of that stuff and you'll be good to go. This is not the perfect like how to start your Webtoon tip video. I just wanted to give you guys some tips based off of my own experience. So yeah, I hope this video was somewhat helpful, or at least entertaining. And with that being said, enjoy, have a good day or night. Goodbye. I'll see you in my next video, hopefully. Peace.